Allegorical Family Urban Legends, copyright November the 26th, 2008. Sybil had always looked after her younger sister Lydia after their parents had died in that terrible accident 10 years earlier, when the Trojans had come and sacked and pillaged and burned the village that they were living in. Now, Sybil's dad was an old knight for King Draco, whilst her mother was an ex-Vestal virgin at the nearby Temple of Venus. So when the Trojan ship had come ashore, the adults had all gone over there expecting a new market opportunity. So they hadn't been expected big hairy brutes to come over and start slaughtering them. Sybil and her sister Lydia had been further away when the massacre occurred, and after Sybil had seen her parents slaughtered, she had hauled her younger sister to a nearby keg where she had hid the young child, and then she had fled to the Temple of Venus, where she stood and waited for the hairy men from Troy to come and sodomize her and do other nasty things. The big hairy brutes came, and they were advancing on her, and outside the lightning was flashing and it was getting dark when suddenly time froze, and the big hairy brutes froze along with it, and a divine figure, that of Venus herself, appeared before Sybil and gave her a choice. She could either become a Vestal virgin herself and gain powers, or take their chances with those big brutes coming up the steps. So Sybil made her choice and became a sorceress in the cause of the goddess Venus. Resumed its motion, and the big hairy brutes from Troy started continuing up the steps. Sybil would have most dearly wished to turn them into pigs or something worse as revenge. However, the powers she had gained from Venus were not of that sort. So when she cast her spells, she turned the men into rather ugly-looking old hags who shrieked and cackled in terrified looks around and fled back to their ship. So it was that Sybil became the head priestess sorceress of the Temple of Venus, and she went, retrieved her younger sister Lydia from that keg, and housed and clothed her as a new Vestal virgin initiate. And so the years passed, and whereas Sybil became a young woman, Lydia has just approached her teenage years when the knight Her Menelig